So thank you guys so much for being on the call tonight. I'm really excited to get these started. I was not really fully aware that people were wanting these training calls. So I'm so excited to start them back up again. There's something that I look forward to, and I've always loved doing them, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. So like I was just telling everybody, and I'm going to tell everyone for those who are watching the recorded version of this, we are going to start with going back to the basics. Whether you are, in the top of the company or you are brand new and just started today, it doesn't really make a difference. We always want to go back to basics and just kind of refresh ourselves. Sometimes it's good to go back and just say, okay, let me go through the comp plan again and really hear someone else. Sometimes it's nice to hear 2 or 3 people explain comp plan so you can kind of get in your head the best way that it is for you to explain it to other people, because sometimes we get I've practiced about 5,000 times how to explain comp plan, and I've tried to record this video, and I finally was like, you know what, we're just going to do this on the Zoom, and I'm going to just do it, because I get so tongue twisted because I get excited and I'm like, oh, I have to tell you about this. Oh, wait, and I've got to go over here. I'm like a squirrel chasing trees. And so I'm just going to do it with a PowerPoint, and we're going to just go with it. And I'm so excited. The reason I wanted to start with the comp plan is because I think the best thing about this business is the fact that you can really experience freedom as far as the business side goes. We all know, even our customers can see the health benefits. They can see the changes in people's lives. We experience that whether we did it as a customer and then upgraded, or whether we're doing that as a wholesale ambassador, or whether we're actively working the business. We get the health side of it, and we'll go into those things later. But something that a lot of people, I think, have a lot of trouble wrapping their brains around is how amazing our comp plan truly is. Until you really start to kind of climb up the ladder and get a really good hang on it, I think it's kind of hard to understand. So we're going to go through, and we're just going to start rocking it out. So I'm going to start with I just touched something I wasn't supposed to. Hold on. Okay. So we're going to start with me screen sharing, and I'm going to go through my PowerPoint with you guys. Okay. You'll have to bear with me because this is not my forte. Erica will probably laugh through the whole thing because it's not really my thing. Okay, here we go. Yay! Okay, so this right here is our income disclosure chart. I want you guys to understand too that when you are sharing our financial numbers publicly, you need to be sure that it's something that has been approved by our corporate office, and this is an example of one. This one is condensed a little bit for this training. There is a full version that has a little bit more information to it, but I wanted to condense it so you guys could see it a little bit better. So for those who don't know me, some of you may not, depending on where you fall in my downline, my name is Sarah. My last name is Roten, and I am an Sapphire ambassador. I am super excited to be a part of your upline, but I am more excited to be a part of your journey. It is such an incredible company that we are beyond blessed by. I won't get a whole lot into my story, but I want everyone to understand kind of where things are, how you come into the company, and how things can change. So when I came into the company, I joined under my sister, Andrea Mitchell, who's a Diamond Ambassador. And at the time, we were both brand new. I joined just a few weeks after she did. And she called me the next day. I was her first ambassador. She said, hey, you signed up as an ambassador. I'm like, heck yeah. I'm not really sure what it means, but I'm super excited about these products if they can help me. And so when we both realized we were doing it, we kind of started delving in and learning a little bit about it. In that first 12 to 24 hours, we wanted to know everything. It doesn't happen like that, but you can try. And we did. There was not near the accessibility and information that there is right now. So we were really calling customer service every 5 minutes and calling our upline Roz or Celeste or whomever. So this is our pay scale, and this is what happened. 3 days after I joined, I went silver, which is right here. And we're going to go through all the ranks in a minute, but I hit silver. And then shortly after went gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby. I went up that pretty fast. And then I hit emerald, which is when I earned my Plexus Lexus and my trip to Hawaii, and get into the emerald pool. Again, we'll get into that in a minute. And then last month, as many of you guys have seen, I went sapphire last month. I really am strongly a believer in, I'm not Sapphire. I am, but I'm not. Our team is Sapphire. We are Plexus One. I can't be where I am without my entire downline. My downline who have made Emerald and Senior Ruby and Ruby couldn't be where they are without their downline. That's the way this business works. It takes a village to get where we're going. You cannot do it on your own. We can never, as individuals, take credit solely for where we're at because we don't do it by ourselves. It's a team effort to get there. So I consider us as a Sapphire team. So you're part of a Sapphire team. Okay, so the next slide I'm going to get into. Okay, so here's the first way that you're going to earn money, okay? That's retail reward commission. And what that is it's your commission. Commission's paid on all of your PV, which is your personal volume, over your first $100, excluding welcome pack. So if you've joined for that month, your welcome pack is taken out, and you have to not only hit $100 to get qualified, but then you have to exceed that to start making commission. So here's how to explain it. When you exceed 500 in PV, your percentage increases from 15% to 25%. I'm really winging this right now because I can't see it. Okay. So here's a good example. I'm gonna shift to the next slide in just a second, but really quick, just so you can see down here at the bottom, the 0 to $99.99. You get no commission on your first $100. That goes back into the company. That's how we keep the lights on, do product research. That's where that goes back into the company, okay? Then from your 100 to $49.99, you get paid 15% commission. When you hit 500 and above, you're making 25% commission. It's not just, you don't make 15% on your 100 to $49.99 and then 25 on 500 and over. Once you hit 500, anything over $100 converts from 15 to 25%. So you are making 25% fully on all of your commission over $100. Okay, so here is the next way that you make money. There's a slide that I think might be missing, but we're going to come up to it in a minute. I may have put them out of order. The second one is preferred customer bonuses. These are so fun, and here's one of the reasons I love these, because you forget about them. As you have your customers ordering, you might be calculating your PV because you can see it in your dashboard. You might be calculating a lot of numbers, but you don't necessarily calculate this unless you are physically doing it. So the benefit to a preferred customer for the customer is that they get a discount and their product comes to them every month on time so that they're getting it consistently and staying on their product. The benefit to you having a preferred versus retail customer is that every time their order ships consistently and they're getting that awesome discounted rate, you're getting an additional bonus on top of your PV. And I know that in your mind, you're thinking, okay, but if my PV is going down, is that really going to add up? So here we go. I am so excited to show you this. Okay, so let's just use Triplex. It's the most popular combo that people buy. It's great because across the board, everyone can benefit from it. So let's use Triplex as an example, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3 Triplex customers, okay? The retail cost of 3 Triplexes, they're $139.95 each. That's $125 PV because you don't get the full amount. Not all of it goes to you. Part of it goes to you and part of it goes into the company. The preferred cost is $124.95 and you get 115 PV on your commission, plus you get your preferred bonuses, okay? So here's the math on it. At $125 PV as a retail customer, times 3 customers is $375, okay? Take out your first 100 because remember, we don't get paid on the first $100 that we do. You're going to be left with $275. $275 times 15% is $41.25. $41.25 is what you're going to get on your paycheck, okay? Let's just say they decide instead of retail, they're going to be preferred. So same math, $115 times 3 customers is $345 minus that first 100 leaves you at $245. Yes, that's less than the $275 retail, but wait, $245 times 15% is $36.75, which is less than $41.25. But when you add in the preferred bonuses times 3, then you're going to get $96.75. This is going to be your total. So going from preferred retail at $41.25 to preferred of $96.75 is that big of a difference. Do y'all see that? I mean, it really is a big difference. Okay, so let's take it up a notch. Let's say you have 5 triplex customers. This to me is ideal. This 5 triplex customers for me is when I feel like I'm really paying for my product and making some money. Okay, so same math that how many there are isn't going to change the cost. So you've got $125 times 5 customers is $625. $625 minus the first 100 is $525. You're over $500. So what happens? Your 15% changes to 25%, and now you're making $131.25 instead of the $41.25 on the other one. That's how adding just 2 additional customers with that triplex and getting over that 500. That's how much that can change your income. Okay. Same thing is true with the 5 preferred. It's the same math going down. You're making a little less, but then when you add in those bonuses, you're up to $218.75. At $218.75, you really can cover not only your product, but also have some extra spending money in the bank when it's all said and done. Okay, so I would say ideally, it doesn't have to be triplex. There's several combos. There's lots of different ways to maneuver it. But if you can shoot for a $500 range, especially with preferred customers, you're going to be looking somewhere around this. Okay, so kind of do the math and play with that. Okay, the third way that you're going to make money is retail rewards override commission. And what that is you're paid 5% on all your level 1's PV over $100. So this is me. I'm the big red U, and these are all my level 1's. This is kind of, let's just throw some numbers out there, 500, 2,500, 1,500. I make 5% of that. So this is what I'm making just off my level 1's PV. I'm not even doing that. That's their customers ordering from them. Remember, the first $100 will come out. So this level 1 probably did 600. This one did 2,600. This one did 1,600. Y'all can tell I'm not a math whiz. That's why I use round numbers. But that's where that's coming from. But you can see, and if you have, let's say you have 20 level 1's that are all doing a substantial amount, you can make a pretty good amount in that 5%. 5% doesn't sound like a lot, but I have a lot of level 1's that are doing well over $1,000 a month, several, like a lot. So it's really, again, it's one that you don't think about until you get your paycheck, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa. So that's one of the benefits to having a team building, is because you make that 5%. Next is your building bonuses. Here's another great way when you're adding people to your team. So when you add a new ambassador with a welcome pack, their welcome pack, for those who are not aware of what that is, that's when they pay their $34.95 and they buy that success kit that all comes together in their first month products. That's the very first thing they're going to choose when they're going through the process of signing up. They need to buy that welcome pack for you to earn your building bonus. They need to buy that if you're trying to earn credits for any of our events like Leaders Retreat or Convention. They've got to buy these welcome packs. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're doing them an injustice not to allow them and not to encourage them to do that. And here's the reason, is because that success kit, our team at corporate has put so much time and energy into that success kit, and there's so much amazing information in there. And when they have questions, you can send them back to it. There's just so much in there for them. And on top of that, that is the cheapest way they will ever get their products. So it's the best thing for them. Trust me on that. You can go through and look yourself, but it's the cheapest way to get product. It gives them the most resources. They may not think they want to work the business, but they may get that success kit and start running through it and say, you know what, I can do this. This isn't impossible. There's tons of resources in there for them, okay? So that's really important. So if they buy a $99 welcome pack, this is how you're going to be paid. Depending on if it's your level 1, your level 2, your level 3, your level 4, you can see right over here where it shows you what you'll make off of their welcome pack. If they buy the $199 welcome pack, you're going to be paid as follows. Let me tell you something really quick. I would really encourage you, when you're doing the $199, to make sure that they're not just doubling up for the following month, because what's going to happen is then they're not going to order the following month unless they're really ready to like blow up their business and take it out. I mean, just take off with it. And they're ready, and they've got some customers ready to order too. I would just keep in mind that you don't want them ordering for 2 months in a row, especially if they're just ordering wholesale, because the following month you're not going to get that order, and you're going to figure out in a little bit when we get to the next stages why that's so important. So be sure that if they're ordering the $199, let's be sure they're either getting ready to take off with their business, or we want to make sure that that's for them and maybe their spouse or their somebody who lives with them or somebody else to do with them, and not necessarily necessarily just stocking up for 2 months, because that can kind of hurt you a little bit later. So I'm going to explain that to you. Okay, here's the next thing that I really want to encourage you guys with, and that's with the building bonuses, is going silver. When your first 3 customers order their welcome packs, the first 3 that order them is going to get you a $100 bonus. So when you sign 3 people up, if you sign them all 3 up in the same month and they've ordered a welcome pack, you'll go silver. You get a $100 bonus on your next check. If you sign up, let's say one month, one the next month, and one the next month, they have to all get qualified. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then once everyone's qualified and you're good to go, you'll get that $100 in your following paycheck. Silver is super fun. It's super easy because you don't have to worry about points. I know you guys hear a lot about points, pay points. That's not a concern for you at this point. What's a concern is just getting your first 3 people underneath you. I always encourage people, if they can do it in their first month, how amazing would that be? Because you're going to earn $100 on your first paycheck. I mean, there's nothing more fun than earning money back. And on top of that, you're earning either 75 or 150 or someone in there in building bonuses. So you have the potential to make $175 to $250 just signing 3 people up. It's incredible. Now, building bonuses, just so you guys know, are the only thing we get paid on every single Friday. So your week, when the week closes on Saturday, the following Friday, you'll be paid on that week's worth of building bonuses. So this Saturday, we'll close out. The following Friday, we'll get paid on everything we've done this week up until Saturday. Everything else comes on your check the following month on the 15th. Okay, these are one-time achievement bonuses. So we talked about silver being $100. That comes on your 15th of the month paycheck. Gold is $250. Senior gold's $350. Ruby is $500. And senior ruby is $750. Obviously, going into the emerald, sapphire, and diamond, which is considered a jewel, you no longer get those one-time achievement bonuses because you get a consistent bonus, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But these are the one-time achievement bonuses. Okay, here's where I know it gets a little more complicated, but I just want to run through it just a little bit with you guys. So here are some things, and I would be happy to share all this information in this spreadsheet on our team page as well, so you guys can go back and look at what you need to. But this is just a rundown of what rank you are, your annual membership, which is that everyone saw that new button, your annual web fee button. In your back office on your dashboard, it has to be green. That means you're up to date on your $34.95. You know that's paid every year, and that needs to be current in order for you to be an active ambassador. Okay? Your backup order must be on for you to be a qualified ambassador. In order to qualify for these ranks, you must have these numbers right here, active level 1s. Not level 2s and 3s, but active level 1s. So as a diamond, you can see down here, you have to have 7 active level 1s. As a let's say silver, you have to have 3. And it's 3 up until ruby. And then ruby is 4, senior ruby is 5, emerald and sapphire 6, and then diamond is 7. If you're building wide and not just deep and relying on just your team to build, and you're consistently adding people, this I can almost guarantee you will never be an issue for you. I'm not super wide. I do have a lot of deep, but my wideness is enough that I can cover that. It's very manageable. As you go up, you'll see it gets easier and easier as you're consistently adding people also. Okay, so, and let me just say too, those personally sponsored qualified ambassadors, they have to have their backup order on to count as one of these. So they've got to be actively ordering and have their backup order on. They cannot have their backup order off, or they do not count underneath that, just so you know. And if you're like, well, how do I know? At the very bottom, if you can change and see what you need to get to the next level. It'll tell you how many points, how many outside leg points, and then it'll show you some little people at the bottom. They're either gray or purple. Gray means you need them. Purple means that you're good to go, and they're qualified in good standing, okay? If you don't know how to tell if they're active, if their backup order's off, there's a button. If you click on each of their ID numbers or their names, it'll pop up a box with all their information. If their backup order is red, then it's off. If they're white lined in your back office, then they do not have a backup order on, or their annual fee is not up to date, just so you know what those are. So, and you can click on it and just confirm, because sometimes the blue, white, and green are not always completely accurate. So you always want to click on it and just check and make sure. Okay, the next thing here is pay points. We're going to get into what pay points are in a minute. That's the most confusing but most lucrative part of our comp plan. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But these are the points you have to have. So like I said, silver, you don't have to have points. You just have to have 3 people. But when you get to gold and above, you have to have points, okay? And then you have to have outside leg points. So I'm going to explain that to you. So points we're going to get into, but outside means I have a primary leg. I have one person where a majority of my points come from, but then I have several other active legs as well, and I have points there. I just have to make sure that my primary leg and that my outside leg points equals this column right here without my primary leg. And that is a new button in your dashboard where it has your points. Your outside leg points is going to be below that, and it does keep track of that, and you can do the drop down. So if I wanted to go to the next rank, I would just go click on the drop down button, click on the next rank I want to go to, and it'll tell me not only what I need, but where I'm at, and then so I'll have an idea of where I need to go in order to earn that, okay? So they give you that information back there. And then obviously it tells you here your achievement bonus. Also, based on what your rank is, will also determine how far deep you're paid. So as a silver ambassador, you're paid on your level 1 through 5. Same with gold. Senior gold, you're then added 1 through 6. Ruby is 1 through 6. And then senior ruby and above, you're paid on levels 1 through 7. We do not get paid past level 7. So I have level 8 that while I train and are active part of my team, I do not get paid on them. But they are a part of my team still, but we only get paid through level 7. The only way I'd ever get paid on a level 8 is if I have someone in between us that goes inactive, and then they would bump up and I would be paid on them. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. Next, Fast Start Achievement Bonus. If you have someone sign up in their first 30 days, they fast start, which means they go gold, senior gold, ruby, or senior ruby in their first 30 days. These are the bonuses. They double. So their gold bonus would be $250, and then their senior gold bonus would be $700. Ruby would be $1,200. Senior ruby is $1,950. It's really, really fun. People will come in and be super excited about that, and it is somebody who is going to rock and run. It is really fun. Okay, so the next one is pay points. Here we go, guys. Pay points are earned on each ambassador in your Diamond that have met their $100 PV requirement. Your pay points will be earned according to your rank, like we just talked about, level 1 through 7. Your Plexus pay points are then added together and multiplied by the current pay point value. Those, we average $3, but they've really been more of an average in the like $2.75, $2.80, $2.80 worth. Team growth is the only way for you to increase the lucrative and residual income option. So as you increase your points, which I've got a graphic coming up, but as you increase in your points, your paycheck will increase. That also means we have to keep our PVs up, because our PV, our overall PV throughout the company is going to determine how high our pay points are. That's why they fluctuate anywhere between, I've seen them go as low as like in the $2.60 range, but I've seen them up at like $3. I think one month we even had $3.04 or something. It was crazy. We were so excited about it. So here's kind of just a little bit of an idea of how that works. So this is just taking someone who has I would say a pretty good sized team that has level 1s all the way down to level 7s. We'll just call this person a ruby. This is a pretty accurate, could be a ruby, senior ruby, really. It's senior ruby because total points. Some rubies who don't have the outside points could do this, but let's just say senior ruby. So this senior ruby has 3 level 1s. They're 5 points each. 9 level 2s at 5 points each. 24 level 3s at 5 points each. This is very common, by the way, for your numbers to grow in your deeper levels. It's very common because you've got all these people building out like this, and people say, oh, that's a pyramid, but girlfriends, mine does not look like a pyramid. Mine's like a flapjack pancake. It's crazy. So it's not necessarily going to be like this, but it's going to sometimes be like this. So what happens is after you get past your level 3, your points per person drop a little bit. So your level 4s are worth 4 points, level 5s are worth 3 points, level 6 are worth 2 points, level 7s are worth 1 point, okay? And then what I did was multiplied them, the number of people at that level times what their point value is, and here's the total points you get, which is 936. I did $2.90 because a lot of people do $3 for easy math, but the reality is we're probably closer to the $2.90 range, so I'm going to go just do a little more reality check here. So 936 points, which is your total points, at $2.90 a piece, is $2,714.40. That is your pay point paycheck. That comes on the 15th with all your other stuff. So in addition to your PV and your override and your, everything else you're getting paid up to that point, you're also getting paid these pay points, which is $2,714.40. If you go back and look at this chart right here, you can see kind of what you have to have. So you can imagine as an emerald, let's just, for easy math, because that's not my forte, say if you have to have 1,500 points and they're worth about $3 a point, you're making about $4,500 just in pay points as an emerald. It's pretty incredible. So we're going to go back up. The next thing is Emerald Pool. So here's where, as you're climbing up the ranks and you've got all these pay points and you hit Emerald, this is where some cool things happen. At Emerald and above, you get to participate in a company jewel pool. What they do is they take 5% of the company's commissionable volume, which is everybody's PV pulled together. They take 5% of that, and they set it aside specifically for the jewel bonuses. It's divided equally amongst all qualifying jewels. So Emerald Pool is 3% of that 5%. Sapphire Pool, not only do you get the 3% for Emerald, but you also get an additional 1% for going Sapphire. So you get, at that point, 4% of that pool. And then at Diamond, you get an additional 1%. The cool thing about Emerald is the Emerald Pool, that 3% is divided amongst all the Emeralds. Once you're Sapphire, you get that Emerald Pool amongst all the Emeralds, but then you also, the Sapphire Pool is divided amongst all the Sapphires, so you get that. And then the same thing with Diamonds. The Diamond Pool is divided amongst all the diamonds. So it's really neat. It's a very lucrative part of the income as well, and it's a substantial amount of money on top of that. So once you're diamond, you're getting the Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond Pool. But it's really fun. But once you're Sapphire, you don't lose your Emerald. You get Emerald and Sapphire. Diamond is the same thing. Once you're Diamond, you don't lose Emerald or Sapphire. You get Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond. So you're making the full 5% amongst all of the diamonds. The 11th way is the Diamond Reentry Program. Once you've qualified for the Diamond Reentry Program, you're able to sign up under yourself as your own level 1 and go through it all over again. It's a very incredible opportunity because you're basically getting to build your second business under yourself. You're making your points off of yourself. It is incredible. My sister, I know, has gone through it. She's a Diamond Gold. She's gone through, become a Diamond, and now she's entered under herself, and she's now a Diamond again. It's really neat and very confusing when you're first coming into the business, but it's another really awesome way to make money. Here's some of the perks that I just want to share. This is the Plexus Lexus program. What happens when you hit Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond? You are given options for your Lexus. I want to make sure that you know, because I want to be very transparent here, that the company does not give you your Lexus. It's not going to pull up in front of your house, honk at you, and you're going to come out and there's going to be a red bow. I did have a red bow, but I got it at the dealership. You'll want to find your local Lexus dealership, go there, test drive cars, and work with them for the best price for you. And then what will happen is you'll submit your paperwork to the company, and then they will give you a stipend monthly. It's a set amount for Sapphire. Emerald and Sapphire get a certain amount, and then Diamond will get an additional amount. What you have to do is you have to pick from your choices as well. So most dealerships, if you're in an area where there's other Plexus Lexus drivers, most of them know and can refer you once you get to that point to who they deal with. Here in Houston, we all kind of deal with the same person, and he's very familiar with us. He's does an incredible job and has helped us all be very happy with our situation. So we are all very excited. And then you get a 2 to 3 year lease. That's up to you which one you want. Next is our Jewel Perks. These are just some of the fun things that we as Jewels have been able to do. And one reason I love and get so excited about the company, this up here on the right is a purse that they sent all of us Emeralds last Christmas. Here's a picture of Karen, one of my rubies, and we earned winner's dinner at convention. This is my Plexus Lexus. This is Erin, who's one of our Emeralds, with her Kona invite, which is super exciting. We leave for Hawaii in just about 11 days. And then here's a bunch of fun stuff from the floor and all the different events that we got to do at convention. Here's a massive amount of our team at convention. This down here was our Jewel of Excellence training. We got to go to corporate in Scottsdale and do some really incredible training with some of the top leaders of our company, which was really fun. The sky is the limit, so dream big. Don't tell yourself that that you're not capable of doing it. That's just not true. Everybody can hit whatever rank they're looking to hit. It's just a matter of really not putting yourself in a box and being willing to work outside that box. If you have a dream, write it down and put it somewhere. I am constantly reminding myself of my ultimate dream. My dream, of course, is to go diamond. My dream, of course, was to have a Plexus Lexus. I never in a million years thought I was going to be going to Hawaii. I thought, oh yeah, everybody does that, but I'm never going to earn that. And here I am, not only going, but taking people along with me and taking my kids as well. Here's what I want to tell you though. Everybody can do this if you want it. And you have to want it bad, because there's going to be bumps in the road. It's not always going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Anyone who tells you that getting to Emerald and holding that spot is easy is just not being completely honest with you, because it's not. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, but it doesn't take a lot to figure out how to do it. It's all simple. Not easy, but it's simple. It's basic stuff. Here's some things I want to encourage you guys. If you have the dream to make these kind of incomes, these 6-figure incomes, and driving a Plexus Lexus and going on these incredible trips, and even if you're just starting and you just want to do things like go to convention, this next year, those who are going to Leaders Retreat, here are some things I would encourage you. Start reaching out, get out of your comfort zone, and be willing to get out there and say, you know what, I'm okay with not looking like the coolest person in the world right now. I really want to share this with you. Erica is laughing at me so hard right now. But you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and say, I'm going to get past the idea and the skeptics of everybody who has an opinion about multi-level marketing. Or you have to be willing to say, I don't really care what other people think about the journey that I'm on, because I just want to share it with everybody. That's the important thing. Once you get to that level and you stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and you just do it because you know that it's the right thing to do and it's the best thing for them, then you're going to take off. But that's a mindset that you have to get yourself into, because nobody's going to be able to get you there. You have to get yourself there. So do any of you guys have any questions before we stop recording? You do? Okay, hold on. Let me. I think you're saying you do. Raise your hand. Are you saying yes, Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So with the Plexus Lexus, you can only use that with Lexus?
Yes, it has to be a Plexus Lexus, and there's a handful. I believe there's 4 or 5 choices at each rank. Emerald and Sapphire, it's white, and there's 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly how many. I know there's at least 4. And then when you go diamond, it has to be black, and there's 4 choices as well.
Okay, and do you have to be the driver, or can that be your spouse? The reason I ask is my family owns a car dealership, and that is my other job, and it's not a Lexus dealership, so I really couldn't be the driver because I have to drive our brand.
Okay, yeah, no, you have to be on the title. In order for that to work, you do have to be on the title, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you driving it. I know that there are several spouses that drive Plexus Lexus around.
Okay.
I won't mention any names, but there are some. But no, your spouse can drive it. You just have to be on the title to submit it.
Okay.
Does that answer you?
Yep, that was
awesome. Does anyone else have anything? Katie, you are rocking those headphones. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to let you guys get